I don't show my face online, never have, not sure if I'm ever going to. You both do. Can I ask why?
That one started blowing up, got like another 1,000 views a couple weeks after I'd uploaded it, and then it's just started sort of snowballing. 10K within like a month, like 50K within like the next month or whatever.
One last question. I just want a yes or no answer. I don't even want context behind it. This is from me. If you got invited to the Dream SMP right now, would you join it? Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast, the podcast regarding everything you need to know inside Minecraft. I'm Insane Orbits, joined again today with Jake. How are you today, Jake?
I'm doing good. We've got a special guest on. Who's that, Orbits?
They're quite big in the Minecraft Hive community. PotatoPie, how are you today, Potato?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be on the Inside Minecraft podcast.
You're obviously an avid listener of the podcast, you said.
I am indeed. Listened to both all the way through.
Saw your comment about the CSGO last time. Not that we're going to get into it, but you weren't too happy with what me and Jake said.
That is true. Would recommend going and watching that if you don't know what we're talking about.
100%. Before we kickstart the podcast, Potato, just for anyone who probably doesn't know you, somehow doesn't know you out there, can you give us a little introduction of who you are, what you do, and why you're good at it? I guess without the last part.
Right. So again, I'm PotatoPie. I make YouTube videos and I stream on Twitch. Basically, I just create content online, mostly regarding Minecraft. On YouTube, I mainly do commentaries talking about honestly anything related to Minecraft Bedrock Edition and sometimes even Java Edition. And on Twitch, I kind of just stream Minecraft and do whatever I feel like for the most part.
So you're pretty much a big thing. Not that you have to say it, but from Jake and I, you're a big thing in the Hive community.
I mean, I would say does it sound weird to say that I'm like one of the faces of the Hive community?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think you're good.
I mean, I'm one of the larger creators. It sounds weird. Maybe that's just me trying to be humble, but like, I guess I am.
There was a video the other day I'm not sure if they're a listener of the podcast. I know they watch my videos and they watch my streams. I'm not sure if you saw this. They did the top 50 most subscribed Hive YouTube channels. I believe,
I didn't see that.
If I remember, you were in the top 5 with 66k. It wasn't like fully updated, but you were in the top 5 Hive YouTubers most subscribed. So that's pretty good.
Wait, that's sick. I didn't actually hear about that, but now I want to go watch that.
It went Evident, Ignacio, Dicey's, it might be. I think you were 4th. I can't, because they didn't have Pata or anything on the list. I believe you were in 4th.
Maybe would River Rain count? I don't know.
You were 4th or 5th on the list, but that's crazy. Like, you're a commentary YouTuber and you're doing this well.
Oh yeah.
So I gave you a little rundown of what the podcast is going to be. It's going to be more of a sort of an interview. It's not going to be me and Jake just firing questions at you. It's going to be topical conversations. But Jake and I have a few questions we want to ask you. And then at the end of the podcast, I have 3 questions from Twitter. You saw the announcement of what fans wanted to ask you to get to know more about you, I guess, or know why you're doing so well, for example.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, okay, so one of the things I think a lot of people want to know is, like, why did you choose Minecraft Bedrock over, like, Minecraft Java, the superior platform?
That's a good question.
So I've talked about this in videos in the past. I actually played quite a lot of Minecraft Pocket Edition and even did YouTube on Minecraft Pocket Edition, which is now Bedrock Edition, like way back in 2014, 2015, 2016, early 2017. I had some connections with the community. For example, I've known Pocket since like 2015, I think.
Was this on your phone?
Yes, mainly it was on my phone. I eventually got Windows 10 Edition, like later on when that became a thing. Yeah. But yeah, this was mainly on my phone. So yeah, I just had I had connections from the past. Like I knew to an extent, I knew Jones and Action. Like I watched them, I guess, and I talked to them a little bit. I knew Pocket, knew people like Nathan Ellipse, for example, as well.
I talked to Nathan,
yeah.
Nathan's a cool
and
guy.
So that's kind of how I got my start in all of this. And then back in early 2020, when like the pandemic was starting, everyone was inside. I was just kind of like bored, and I felt like making YouTube videos, and so I just kind of chose Pocket Edition because that's where I like knew some people. And then at that time, like Pocket and stuff was coming back to Bedrock Edition as well. So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start.
Do you think that's pretty crazy how that worked? Like, you decided to come back when literally everybody from your past community did, and it wasn't like it was planned, it was all coincidental. Like, it's just crazy how the stars aligned, right?
I mean, to be fair, like Pocket just randomly followed me on Twitter one day. Like we exchanged a couple of DMs, like "Yo, long time no see, no talk, whatever." I had already like made one Minecraft video at that point, I think, just on my own for fun. But it is kind of a crazy coincidence from how it started then to like where it's at now, I guess.
I mean, Pocket's on 30k now. He's about to pass me in subscribers, which is crazy.
Oh yeah,
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
So would you say that, you know, like, obviously you have 60k subscribers, would you say that's was a good idea, or do you think you'd be doing better if you did Java content, or can you just not tell?
See, the thing is, with the Java content, it's so much harder to like get a start and get going and get to the higher levels, the higher tiers of subscribers, viewers, all of that, just because of how saturated the game is. And that's where I kind of got lucky, but also kind of recognized early on that at this point in time, Bedrock's probably the better way to go in terms of getting a start in Minecraft and getting some recognition, just because it's like you're easier to find, just because the Bedrock YouTube and content creation community is smaller as compared to Java, which is absolutely huge. And I feel like everyone knows that.
So kind of on the topic of what you were just saying there with, you know, Bedrock Edition doing like having a better future than, oh yeah, I know you didn't say it has a better future than Java. That's something that I see, I guess, from my own opinion, especially since...
Oh no, I 100% see that as well. Like
really?
Bedrock, okay, so like so much stuff has already been done in Java, but a lot of people don't realize Bedrock also just has like the larger audience as well. Do you know how many people in the world have phones?
Right.
Like, but don't have computers?
And Nintendo,
so many more people play
Xbox,
yeah,
PlayStation.
right. So many more people have access to Bedrock Edition than Java Edition. And I've said this for like the past 2 years at this point, that like Bedrock has the larger potential out of the two Minecraft versions. And this isn't to diss Java Edition or anything like that either. I'm just stating the facts. Bedrock has a way larger potential in terms of potential viewer base.
Yeah, I mean, the problems of like Bedrock though is like the gameplay is a lot more scuffed than Java because of different devices, and like stuff like PvP server content is like a lot more unbalanced compared to Java.
Oh, that's for sure true. I mean, we all know of like, you know, Minecraft Bug Rock Edition and everything like that. Bedrock definitely, I would say, has more problems than Java Edition, but in terms of the future and what it could be, even though Bedrock has to deal with like multiple devices, like, you know, obviously getting like compatibility among all of them, I think there's still the potential that if everything can work out in the future, Bedrock's just got like the I keep on saying potential, but that's really what it is, the bigger potential in the future.
No, yeah, I agree. But then, okay, so I remember when I used to be a Cooproff YouTuber back in the day, I made a suggestion once about improving their UI, but they said they couldn't do it because it wouldn't benefit mobile players, but then it was also a massive, like, I don't know, it wasn't really a disadvantage, but the opposite of benefit, whatever that is. Do you think the fact that, like, servers have to cater to mobile players so much, would that affect anything? Like, could that affect the growth, or do you think like it doesn't really matter too much? Because in my opinion, it doesn't matter. But like, also in that time, it was when I suggested and they didn't change anything. It was like, well, everybody wants this. All the PC and Xbox player wants it, but you can't do it because it won't help the mobile players and it'll ruin their experience.
So one thing you have to remember is that, like I said earlier, everyone has a phone. Not everyone has an Xbox or has a PC or anything like that. And you have to cater to the mobile players because those are going to be the majority of your player base. Hopefully I'm not like leaking anything. I think I remember the Hive saying a stat of like, I think it might have been like 60 to 70% of their player base was on mobile or something like that. I'm just talking on what I remember, and I might not actually be correct, but I'd still estimate that that's probably still pretty close to what's correct.
Yeah.
The majority player base of Minecraft is on mobile, and so you have to cater to them, and that's probably why CubeCraft couldn't really, you know, cater to the PC, to the Xbox players, just because they weren't the largest audience. Basically, you just have to make sure what's on your server is more geared towards your larger audience, because that's who's playing your server.
Okay, so on the topic of mobile, just a smooth transition, if you must. Your most recent video, which we're going to get into in a later podcast that we're recording tonight, it'll come out next week, hopefully. Your latest video about mobile controls recently blew up, right?
That's true.
So
it did.
I don't want to talk about that too much because we're going to probably mention that in the next podcast. However, I do want to talk about, if you remember it, what was your first video to blow up and how exactly did that feel? Because I still feel like, yeah, I did command block videos and I have a command block video with like 250k views, which is amazing. But I still feel like I haven't had that video that's blown up for me. Like, I don't count that because it's a command tutorial and everyone's searching that. I want a Hive video, I want a Minecraft like commentary video that just does well. So what did that feel like? Like, because Jake's had it as well with his 100k views, but for you specifically, how did that feel, and like what was the video?
All right, so there's a little bit of backstory for this. So this was back when I was mainly still doing like sort of just gameplay, like playing with friends, doing challenges and stuff like that. I was starting to experiment a little bit with like commentary stuff. I had done like 1 or 2 maybe before that, and then I did the video. Well, like I said, just kind of like challenges, like if I can
generic,
like scroll back, like the super generic stuff, like Sky Wars but with no armor, or like Sky Wars but I can't touch the ground, like the floor's lava or whatever. All that sort of like stuff.
Got you.
Again, nothing wrong with that, but it was kind of getting stale. I wanted to, I guess, level up my content, sort of.
Wasn't your style.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a style. I was just sort of experimenting with like commentaries and stuff. So I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen, like, if you've watched the Hive content before, you've probably seen the video titled "The Hive Does Not Want You to See This Video," which is a video that I made like over 1.5 years ago, talking about the lemon tree under the Sky Wars lobby.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So first of all, that video did really well on its own. Like before anything, like I posted it and it got like maybe 200-300 views in the first hour, which was cracked for me back then.
Oh yeah.
And then I had known Ignacio Blade at the time, and he was like, I think he might have had like 10-15k subscribers or something like that.
Now look,
he community tabbed it, and so it got like 1,000 views within the first day.
Jeez.
Which was like, again, absolutely insane for me. Progress slowed down on that for a little bit. I kept on doing the commentary stuff. This was back when I actually had an upload schedule and I was uploading like 3 times a week, maybe.
No, you upload 1 time every 3 weeks.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean,
last video was 3 weeks ago, so you know.
I mean, it was only 2 weeks ago. It's
I
got another week.
It says 3 weeks on YouTube, because I'm looking at how many views your most video has. This one.
Oh, okay.
It has 420k views.
Yeah.
The Hive does not want you to see this video.
420.
Yep, nice,
funny
good
number.
one.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, carry on, Potato. My bad.
So the video like eventually tapered off like most of the videos, but I was still uploading consistently. Around that time, I also started doing some like search term videos. So like you can also see some of my other relatively popular videos: how to win Sky Wars every time, how to combo on the Hive, what's the best Sky Wars server on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, those types of stuff. And I feel like all of that at the time sort of combined like to initially get me in the algorithm. That first video that I talked about, like the lemon tree one, that one started blowing up, got like, I think maybe another 1,000 views or another couple thousand views in a week, a couple weeks after I'd uploaded it. And then it's just started sort of snowballing, 10k within like a month, like 50k within like the next month or whatever. It started doing really well. And all those other videos were doing well as well. And I, again, continued uploading relatively consistently as well. I was getting like, 3k views a video or whatever. A month or 2 later, I got a YouTube rank on the Hive. And yeah, that's sort of kind of how I got out there, got my start, I guess, in like actually making videos that people watched.
So I don't want to ask you why you think that video did well, because once again, that will be for the next podcast that's coming up. But I do want to know, what was the idea behind the video? Like, why did you make it? What was the reason for it? Like, yeah, I guess, lemon tree at the bottom of the hub, but what was the initial thoughts behind that video?
Okay, so this is like, I feel like if people watch that through, they'll think it's like completely fake and that I was just like, building up all that suspense as to what was actually down there, because, I just wanted to like do a good video, create some suspense, and like get people watching the entire way through. I mean, yeah, it was a solid video, and it did exactly that. It built up a bunch of suspense for a relatively tame ending. But genuinely, I made that video not knowing it myself, and then finding it out, realizing it was cool, and then actually making a video out of it. I sort of like made the video in real time as I was finding it out, if that makes sense.
I think that's a good thing though, because like you can be more genuine about your reaction than like
there was
script something.
Literally 2 or 3 minutes within that video where it was like actually live commentary, like me going down there looking at it and all of that stuff.
Oh my god, lemon tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Were there not custom servers around it? Because I'm still new to I mean, I've been playing Hive for last year, but I wasn't around on the Hive and that.
Like, no, it was like a huge
servers?
Speculation what was down there.
So let me tell you, I get comments still to this day, 1.5 years later in that video, telling me, why didn't you just open up a custom server and go look down there?
Oh yeah, that's why I'm asking what it was and not, because obviously
No, there weren't custom servers at the time. They came out like 2 months afterwards or something.
So
but
it was
like,
the perfect time to make the video then.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, those comments help as well, boost the video as well. Because they're all like,
oh yeah,
why
no,
don't you just use a
it's
custom
free
server?
engagement, interaction, and everything. So I'll take it. But it's still just like crazy that people still like watch it for the first time.
Because I was watching a plushie video the other day, and it's saying apparently there's lemon tree law. Apparently that is what the players are fighting for. I don't know where they got the information from, but apparently players in Skywars are fighting for that lemon tree. So did you know about this law when you made the video, or did you genuinely just want to know what was down there?
I genuinely just wanted to know what was down there. However, the way that I'm spoiling the entire video. The way that I found out what was down there was by going on the Hive's Java server when it was a thing back then, downloading the lobby, and then just like flying down there. And I saw the sign saying like, what are we fighting for? And like, this is what we're fighting for, or whatever.
Oh,
that's where the lore actually comes from.
See, I watched a video about 7-8 months ago, so I forgot.
Yeah.
If you want to go see it, it's PotatoPie's most viewed video. You can literally just go to his videos and sort by most viewed, or just search up
probably
the Hive,
not for long, but you know.
I mean, that's getting 3 views per hour, and the Minecraft Bedrock new controls is getting 524 views per hour. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, it's on track to beat it.
I mean, it's like crazy how like how easy it is now to get to the lemon tree, like how people just like can do like parkour to get there when it was such a hard task like months ago.
Or just read the comment section, go in a custom server.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't need to do the parkour anymore. Just load up a custom server and get down on yourself.
I think the only way to like fly down there was probably like back then was probably like to spectate like your friend or something already in a game, but no one thinks of that when you're actually trying to do it.
Yeah, like I get some other comments I get are saying that as well. Just go spectate a friend and fly down there. But again, I didn't think of that at the time. That was at the time where I'd only been playing the Hive for maybe like 5 months at that point, so I didn't know all the ins and outs of the server at that point.
Yeah.
Plus, what a boring video! Like, it's 30 seconds. What's the point of that? Like, you want an 8-minute suspenseful video? That's good content.
No, I 100% agree. People want to like have their attention captured as opposed to just like see 30-second video, get information, go next. And though some people like that, like, you know, they watch TikTok and everything, I feel like the average person wants to like actually learn a little bit more in depth.
And once again, like we've been hinting at, that'll be something that we talk about in the next podcast that you're in. So, you know, it's a few little hints as to what the next one is going to be. Okay, so on the topic of content creation, because I know that's what the podcast is about, but I want to ask more questions. And this is one that's directed to you as well, Jake. So it's going to be for both of you, kind of not really educating me, but kind of talking to me about the experience of it and talking to the reader. So you both know what I look like. I sent you both a picture, and I think you've seen a video of me. You've seen videos of me, Jake. So you both know what I look like. But I don't show my face online. Never have. Not sure if I'm ever going to. You both do. You stream with your face, Jake. Potato, you've put your face in YouTube videos, and you stream every single stream of your face. What can I ask why you've done that? Like, what was the reason? Not particularly you too much, Jake, but you, Potato, because you've been doing it for so long now. What was the idea behind showing your face online? And I know, because now that you're so far in, you can't exactly just disappear offline. Do you regret, or are you happily still going to show your face all the time and be completely fine with it?
I mean, I don't mind having my face. Okay, so there's once again a little bit of background. I've had my face online probably forever, basically. Like, you know, parents posting like pictures on like social media or whatever, like Facebook or whatever.
I mean, like content creators. My face is.
No. I mean, even then, like, I'm just like, basically I don't care because my face has been online and out there for so long. So like when I started doing content creation, my face was like in videos just because like back in the day, for example, like, you know, 2015, 2016, it was all the rage to, you know, like have your face cam, have the face cam border with your logo in it and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's somewhat what I did. Like, I don't know, my face has just been out there, and so I don't really mind. I never really made a decision back in the day to like whether I was like for sure gonna have my face or not gonna have my face. And just I just put it in, you know, videos, whatever. I didn't really care. If I had to go back, I still feel like I probably would use a face cam. I don't obviously, if your face is out there, it's just out there forever. I can't ever like erase my face from the internet now.
It's like that Keemstar meme. Like that Keemstar meme is like, never gonna go off the internet. Everyone's gonna know that interaction between yourself and Keemstar.
Tens of millions of people have seen that meme at this point. Tens of millions of people know what I look like. At this point, I don't really care anymore, like, if people know what I look like.
But if you could erase right now, if you could just sit there and be like, okay, bang, no one is ever gonna, like, I guess, like, Spoilers, if you haven't watched it somehow, the Spider-Man movie, the most recent one. Spoilers, you can skip this part if you think. Have you both watched it? Yeah?
No, I don't care though.
Oh,
I haven't watched it, but I don't care.
Okay, I basically at the end of the movie, everybody forgets who he is. Okay, so like, would you not forget who you are, but would you happily just be like, everybody forgets what you look like online, not your family and stuff like that, but you get what I mean? Like, PotatoPie25, everybody who knows you as PotatoPie25 completely forgets what you look like. If you could press a button to do that right now, would you, or would you still show your face?
That's a good question, because
you still keep all the same success and everything.
Right. It would obviously be cool to like have a little bit more anonymity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having a face in content, maybe this is going to sound like really parasocial, but like viewers can associate like who you are with your content, if that makes sense. It almost helps with branding in a way. People putting a face with PotatoPie25.
So this is to you as well then, Jake. Do you think, because Potato, you average over 100 viewers, and me and you, Jake, we both did a stream the other day, and I think you were doubling my viewers, and I have more followers, not to say anything. Followers mean nothing, I'm just saying. Do you think that showing your face in your streams helps? Like, do you think you'd average less? Like, I know people watch you for your personality. That's what streaming on Twitch is all about. How I feel anyways, for the most part. Obviously different situations don't apply to that. But would you feel that like that if you didn't show your face in your streams, and do it yourself, Jake, I want you to answer this as well. Do you think you'd average less viewers, or do you think you'd still average the exact same viewers, or maybe even more?
I think it would be like the same kind of viewers, but just for different reasons. Because your face is like a character. Like it gives off a lot of like it can give off a lot of like body language and stuff in situations.
Yeah.
So let's say like for example, like something happens in the game or whatever. You can't like react to that if there's no camera or whatever. Like all you have is your voice.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you go silent, no one knows what you're doing. You're just not talking anymore.
Exactly. Like it can like it gives like opportunities for humor and stuff like that, for like, suspense. But I think it'd be like the same kind of viewer like range, but just like different reasons to why you're there.
What about
because
you,
I feel
Potato?
like,
oh sorry, my bad, Jake, carry on.
Like if I didn't show my face, more people would be there for the gameplay than my personality. If I did show my face, more people would be for me than my person, or for like me than the gameplay.
Yeah, I get that. What about you, Potato? Do you think you'd still average the same amount of viewers, or?
Honestly, I think for me, people watch a lot more for my personality on stream specifically than they do for my gameplay. Obviously, when I'm playing something that's like, not the Hive or not Minecraft, views go down. But more, I'm just saying like,
well, that makes
people
sense.
watch.
That implies your point more. Then, if you're saying people watching for your gameplay, that actually like puts the point on more that your viewers go down when you play a different game. Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like my viewers would probably be less, just because I'm like not good at. I'm not like, top tier cracked at the Hive or anything like Jakester is. I just like play the game sort of as like
God complex.
Okay, look, yeah.
He doesn't need it.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I think having my face on my streams is definitely a benefit. Just people being able to like again associate me with my brand and everything like that. So yeah, I think I would probably rather keep my face on my streams.
Can I ask one more question, I guess, for both of you? I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this too much, Jake, but you definitely will, Potato.
Okay.
So one of the reasons, like the only reason that I won't show my face on the internet is because I simply just can't deal with edits on my face. It's just I've seen like things I just can't. I don't know why. It's just I just can't think of the idea of that. It's just not like, but like in quotation marks, like badder edits, if you get what I mean. Not gonna go too much into that. How like this isn't for me. This is for people listening to podcasts. This would probably be better for the second one, but the second one isn't really regarding this. I just want to ask you here quickly. Do you have a certain way of dealing with that, or do you just straight up just ignore it and forget it exists?
It's mainly just ignoring it. I mean, someone like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Obviously, I don't really like people like making weird edits to my face and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's ultimately not something that I can really control too much or put a stop to for the most part either. I can ask people to stop, and that's about it. So at a point, you just kind of have to deal with it, I guess.
I think I just fear that.
Pay too much mind to it.
That's the only reason I won't show my face online, is because I just simply can't deal with that. It's just a fear of mine.
I definitely understand that. That's definitely fair.
Because I guess like I have like I don't have anxiety, but I get anxious really easy, if that makes sense. So like stuff like that, it just like drive me into overthinking. Like I overthink when I don't upload a video. Like it stresses me out. Like, which it shouldn't. It's not like bad thing will affect my lifestyle or anything. It's just always in the back of my mind, like, you need to upload a video now. Like obviously it has to be good. I'm not just gonna upload a video for the sake of it. But in the back of my mind, it's like, you need to do this. It's like if that relates to the face thing, if that makes sense.
I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, if you have a take on that, Jake, go ahead. I'm not sure if you did or not.
I mean, like I haven't had like really any experience with like people like making weird stuff with my face or whatever. I mean, I usually just like laugh it off if there's like a screenshot or whatever going around or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've had my face in the internet for like 5 years or so. I unlisted a ton of videos, but I did a lot of IRL content.
The Nerf
like,
War.
Shut up.
No one knows about the Nerf War.
4 or 5 years ago. Oh god.
We won't get into that.
I mean, people have seen that in the Hive community. Like, I've shown people that, and I wish I didn't, but
it's the greatest video on the internet. I love it.
No, it's really not. Yeah. I mean, like, if I didn't like show my face ever and like kept it a secret, like before I did Hive content, there wouldn't be really a point because people in the Hive community had already seen my face like publicly before because I showed them like videos and stuff. So I just kind of like let it out there and just like brushed it off as like it wasn't a big deal.
I mean, that's the thing on YouTube, right? Because like for the most part, disregarding like Dream, etc., and like I guess Corpse and Technoblade, like they're exceptions to the law. The big people, they all show their face, like so.
Yeah, I mean,
it obviously works.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about YouTube, I don't know if I'm ever gonna show my face on YouTube again because I don't know if it like fits my brand because I know my main brand is like my skin, you know, my chocolate kind of like vibe. So I mean, I would want to do like face cam content and stuff, but I feel like it just doesn't fit like the style of content I'm going for. I don't know. I might experiment with it. I don't know.
I mean, you barely do that, Patel. You only do that when you do streams. You don't actually put your face into videos. You put them into stream videos.
Yeah, exactly.
You stream with your face.
And sometimes just like clips and stuff. But yeah.
Thanks for that. I don't know. Like maybe I will show my face in the future. I guess it's just a genuine question I wanted to know. And like, I guess there's a lot of people in the Hive community. If like, I know a few YouTubers watch this, who are a lot of smaller creators, and you know, if they're ever considering showing their face, and they were scared for the same reason I was, because I am scared. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm scared to do it. I guess that's like could help them one way or another.
Yeah, so speaking of like personal stuff, like IRL things, related not to Minecraft. So you're not in college anymore, right, Potato?
That's
you're
correct.
Like not okay. Yeah. And you said you were gonna take like a year or two off or something. I think like last year. Are you planning to go back?
Honestly, at this point, I'm really not sure. It's like, so I said like when COVID happened and like I finished college for that year that I was just gonna take a year off, in part just to like literally not have to deal with doing online school during the pandemic because that was just garbage. Sucked. I didn't like it. Yeah, it was horrible.
I failed. I had to resit all my exams. It was horrible.
I wish I could have did that.
Yeah. So I just literally took a year off, and that's fine. I was working some like, you know, real IRL jobs. I know, imagine. Can
I ask what you did, or can you not say?
I was working at a grocery store.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then content creation happened, and I was making more money from content creation than I was my real job. So I quit that, went full force into content creation. And then it literally just snowballed, kept happening, kept doing well. Year passed, was still doing pretty well with it. Decided, you know what? Not going to do college again this year. And we're kind of here now, and I'm still not in college, and I still have no clue if I'm going to go back or if I'm going to literally take another year or what I'm going to do. I really don't know.
The edge. You're just on the edge, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling this year. I have to resit all. I'm doing 3 exams this year for next year, split into 2 years. And I'm really struggling this year. So I thought of taking a gap year next year, and I brought it up to my parents. And they didn't say I can't, because, you know, they didn't talk me out of it because I'm working and stuff. But they said to me that once you take a gap year, you won't go back. And in a sense, you've proven this. You've taken a gap year and you haven't gone back.
Yeah.
Is that because you like? It's okay. So say, be honest. If you can put yourself in a situation. If content creation, say you had my subs and you had my views, for example, because my view to sub average isn't amazing compared to yours. Would you have gone back to college, or do you think you still would have stuck with only content creation?
If I'm being honest, I probably. I mean, there's even that third chance that I could literally just be working as well, not doing college, but also like literally just working. And so I would be doing one of those things. Either I would be back in college, or I would just be like, you know, working a real job. In all honesty, I really was not a fan of like college and what I was doing. I did, you know, I'm going relatively personal. I did engineering for my first year. It did not really go well. I didn't understand it. I didn't enjoy it. Second year, I kind of just did more general studies. but even then I felt like I wasn't getting too much out of it.
By general
And so-
studies, can I ask what you mean by that? Like what?
Quite literally just taking, okay, so in the United States, in university, you just have to like take some like regular classes like math, English, some like science
Oh, so that's
classes.
kind of like sixth form over here. Yeah.
I mean, but it's like actual university as well, and it's like university level and everything.
Oh,
But I just-
okay.
Yeah, but I just didn't feel like I was getting all that much out of it. I wasn't like learning anything I wanted to learn, and so yeah. If I go back, and I've also talked about this, I've also pondered this. I haven't like figured out what I want to do in terms of like university either. And so that's why I'm still like hesitant to go back until I figure out something that I'm like actually really passionate about. And obviously I've found content creation and everything, but like I don't feel like I'm going to get too much out of university trying to like learn about content creation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So still kind of lobbing questions in your direction. Sorry, Jake, I know this was your question, but I have just some stuff to add on top of it. So I feel like I reference this in like my everyday life. I said to people at work, I reference it. So I'm a big listener of the Happy Hour podcast. I love it so much. I reference it in everyday life. Jake, you know about this. I'm always bringing it up. I remember Jack, mate, he was the host. He was once saying that from young, all he could see himself doing was content creation. Like he tried like working in quotation marks a normal job and stuff like that, but he could only ever see himself doing content creation. That's all he like looking like years down the line. That's all he could ever see himself being pleased with. I guess. Do you think you could say that because you can't think of what you want to study at uni and you can't really find a job that works for you? Does that apply to you that you can only ever really see yourself doing content creation?
Well, I mean, I feel like I can still like again work a in quotations real job as well. I don't feel like that would be too much of an issue. But the only thing that I could really see myself enjoying, at least at the moment, is content creation.
Yeah. So, but has that been like that forever? Like ever since you were like, okay, say like 5-6 years ago, did you go out just being like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do YouTube.
It was always a dream, but it was never like this is the only thing I can do. Like obviously, I had like I don't know. I just wanted to like do well for myself, enjoy life. I enjoy traveling a lot. Be able to like do something that could support me traveling some. And it wasn't ever just like I can only do content creation. This is what I'm going to focus on 100% for the rest of my life.
That's fair enough. As long as you enjoy it, which you clearly are, and you're doing well,
exactly.
So it works. What about you, Jake? Because for me, I'm working on YouTube, not as much as I used to, because I'm also working 4 days a week, and I go college 1 day a week. So I've got quite a lot on my plate. And then Jake, obviously, you also do college, and you and you do content creation. You're studying, if you don't mind getting personal, Jake, you're media, right? I think.
Yeah, I'm studying like VFX, film school kind of stuff.
So you're basically studying YouTube in a sense.
I mean, it's more of like, it's more of like post-production plus like film industry techniques, you know, like filming and stuff like that.
Because mine doesn't make much sense. I know this is about you, PotatoPie, sorry. I'm studying accounting, but I work a warehouse job. So, you know, I've been studying accounting for 3 years. You think I'd have an accounting job by now, but apparently no one seems to want to hire. So, you know. But back to you, Potato. So like you're doing more on YouTube. So you don't, as of right now, you don't have any plans to go back to university.
I guess you could kind of say that. Yeah. I could see myself eventually going back like literally 10-15 years down the road just as like
really
well like that's, you know
when you have kids that's gonna be tough.
And not like university, but like maybe this is just a thing in the United States, but like literally some adults just go back to college to like, you know, get like
you can,
a second degree, but it's like a part-time sort of thing. Like you go like 1 or 2 days a week and just like
that's
you know study something.
People who I work with do that. Yeah.
I could see myself potentially doing that like 10-15 years down the road. It's not a guarantee, but if I'm looking for something else like fulfilling or something else to do, then it's a possibility, I feel like.
That's fair enough. It's a lot harder when you're an adult, though. I mean, I know you know this, but like 10-15 it's a lot harder. Like, cause like I said, because I work in a warehouse, there's a lot of older people who work with me. Some of them are like studying college right now, and they're just like, it's so stressful working like 4 days and then in college. But then because you'll be doing YouTube, it'll be slightly easier, I guess, because you know, you won't have to have to work around in quotation marks again, a real job.
I mean, hopefully content creation is still going strong at that point.
It should do. We can, you know, cup half full kind of people, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the future with you, Potato, we're going to bring it back a little bit to the present, or more like the past. about 3 months, probably not even 3 months ago, probably a lot more recent than that. You had a very interesting experience, or very interesting, I guess, interaction for the intro part here. I'm saying this. You had a very interesting interaction with Tubbo.
That is true. That is true. Do you want me to explain the background of what happened?
So Jake talked a little bit about it on the first podcast. I know was it? It was the first one, yeah. So if you want to go back and watch that, but from the man himself, who actually was you, Potato. You give us the full rundown.
Okay, so the hilarious thing about all of this is that I wasn't there for the most part when it actually happened. I was at a soccer game. Yeah, he was on his alt, but he still had like 10,000 viewers. So it's
okay.
In all seriousness, it's still basically his main.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What game were you watching?
I was watching the U.S. play El Salvador. I feel like.
What was the score? Do you remember?
It was like 1-0. It honestly wasn't that good of a game, but it was still fun to go to.
Fair
so yeah,
enough.
I wasn't there for when it happened. I got a couple of DMs. I went into a stream at halftime for like maybe 2 minutes saying, "Yo, that's my video, Pog," and he like VIP'd me and everything, and then I had to go back because the game was starting. So yeah, I didn't see it. After the game, I went and like watched the entire VOD, and that was sick just to like see like him talking about it, all the people that he was with talking about it, just giving his feedback, him playing on the Hive, all of that was awesome. But it's still just hilarious that I didn't actually see it live. Honestly, I feel like things might have turned out differently, like not in a bad way, but if I was like actually there and I could have provided more feedback and everything, I feel like it would have been a lot different if I would have been like there for the entire time watching him.
Is there any key parts of the VOD do you remember, of like any reactions to your video that you specifically remember? Like, holy crap, I can't believe he just said that about my video, or anything like that?
I mean, obviously the part where he like, subscribed to me at the end, I said like leave a like and subscribe. That was awesome. But I mean, just like I don't remember, honestly.
But
I think
subscribed.
He did. He subscribed, so that's all that matters.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I know he agreed with some of my points. Like this is obviously a very obvious like just cash grab server. That's all Pixel Paradise is, because we're talking about the Pixel Paradise video that he reacted to. I remember that.
I forgot to mention that.
One of the major points that he agreed with.
That was the one of it being bad on release, right? Not the looking back on it one.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I know you released 2 Pixel Paradise videos within that time frame. So he subscribed and stuff. What about him playing on the Hive? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I know you have a thought on that. So what exactly is it? Because a lot of people have been saying that like this is amazing. I can't believe Tubbo's on the Hive. This is so much. Like this is so good. But then I also haven't seen the player count really rise on the Hive. So do you have any thoughts like of will it affect anything in the future or anything like that?
I mean, let's be real here. It's not like Tubbo playing on the Hive for a total of 15 to 20 minutes isn't going to increase the player count by any sort of significant margin.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, obviously it's awesome that he played on the Hive. He checked out the server that I and most of the people watching this podcast call home, I guess.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see him play on it. Obviously I wish he would have spent a little bit longer than just playing, like looking at the hub and playing one game of Sky Wars. But it was still cool to like see him check it out, give his thoughts on why he thought the Hive was a good server as compared to Pixel Paradise, which he had just checked out like 5 minutes beforehand.
I haven't seen the VOD. Do you? Oh, sorry, go on, Jake. How dare you talk?
I mean, yeah, he gave some really positive reviews to the Hive, which was honestly like kind of unexpected from the Hive community because like I think for the Hive community, like deep down, like a lot of us know that Java content is probably like the superior thing, but it's just hard to get into.
Right now it exactly. Is, yeah. So I haven't watched the VOD, so I haven't seen it. I never got around to watching it. How exactly did he come about your video, Potato? Do you remember by any chance?
He was quite literally like doing some mining, I think, on an SMP or something, and scrolling through his YouTube recommended to like find stuff to watch. And he came across my video and was like, "Ooh, server drama," and then that's literally how it happened.
Your video was in his recommended.
Yeah.
Oh,
again, like 6 months after I released it, by the way. Yeah.
Did you see any like increase in views on that video, or like increase in like normal sub count?
I mean, I think it got like 1,000 views or something, which was, I guess, a decent amount. It got like 1,000 views in the time that I was watching it.
10,000 people watching the stream, yeah.
Yeah, a couple people like clicked on the video saying I came from Tubbo. I didn't like, I maybe got like 20, 30 subs from it or something, which again was cool. But like, I wasn't expecting anything super like extensive or whatever from like him watching my video. It's just a content creator watching a video, and unless like he literally goes and tells everyone to go subscribe and go like and go like watch all of his videos, not much is going to happen. It's just like everyone sees it. Oh, cool. We watched a video, and then, I wouldn't say forgets, but just like moves on with their day, I guess.
Especially since for the most part, they were most likely either the Bedrock viewers already knew who you were, and the Java viewers don't really care about Bedrock content, so.
Right, exactly.
But it was still a cool experience. Obviously, we're not going to talk about it too much. If you don't mind me bringing it up, he added you on Discord as well. That's all we'll say. So that must have felt cool, just having.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
It's not like bragging or anything like that. It's just like it's because I have it's like bragging about having Evident added on Discord. It's like
exactly.
It's like a crazy thing, but you have him added, so it's cool to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good reaction. I know, like I know from what I've heard, he had good reactions about your video, and then he logged onto the Hive because apparently people were Jay, you said this in the first podcast.
Yeah,
people were spamming his chat to play Hive.
Watching the VOD chat back. Yes, people were absolutely doing that, like telling him to play Hive or play Galaxite or whatever.
So you started a movement, Potato.
I guess I did.
I mean, I think Tubbo knew about Hive's existence on Java, and he knew like how polished it was. But I think he knew he was like aware of like the Bedrock Edition one, but he didn't like know too much.
Yeah.
He gave some really positive reviews. He like compare it to like one of the best Minecraft servers in general.
Well, after that, he went on to a Java server called Origin Realms, which also has a really like polished experience. It's like, I don't have a good Bedrock server to compare it to, but it's got like custom models, custom sounds, custom like text and all of that. It looked really cool.
Custom models, Pixel Paradise are original, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, Origins, if you're somehow watching this, sorry, didn't mean to crap on your server. I'm sure it's an amazing server. I guess compared to Hive's new NPCs, is that comparable or no?
Like compared to Hive and Galaxite.
Yeah, I in terms of like models and stuff like that, I'd say it's pretty on par. I'd say it looked pretty sick. It wasn't like a minigame server. It was like more of a MMO type thing. I think, but people were comparing it to like Winecraft.
Oh
Winecraft
yes,
is Java.
Winecraft.
That's Winecraft is. I don't. Oh, so it'd be like CubeCraft, Magic, and Mayhem then.
Maybe, I guess. I didn't really do too much with that, but I think it's relatively comparable. Yeah,
quests and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Winecraft is very much like Magic and Mayhem was very much like Winecraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tubbo playing the Hive and Tubbo reacting to your video, and who knows if it's getting recommended to him. You have no clue how many other people, Dream and Tommy in it could have seen your video as well, or they could have been watching that stream. So
this is getting a little bit off topic, but I've always wondered that, like, what big YouTubers have like watched my videos before, but, like, never left a comment or like
exactly.
This is still on
there
topic,
must be. There must be a ton of people, there must be a ton of creators just watching like videos randomly bored and just not leaving comments or anything.
Well, Hannah watched Skylar's one and commented on it, as well as Intel Edits. They both commented on Skylar's one. Have you ever had a comment from? Beijing Canadian watched your Twitch stream.
Yeah.
As well, so that was very cool.
I've had RKY comment on mine.
No one's gonna know him because you were all like, because I don't make command block videos anymore. But there used to be someone called Dakin Black Rose who I was quite close with. He does,
I used to watch that guy.
Yeah. So I still have him added on Discord actually, which is big flex. But like that's like the biggest I have other than Evident, who Hive creator. So.
But for me personally, no, I don't feel like I've had many, like, I guess, big YouTuber comments or anything on my videos, and I'm completely fine with that. I mean, I'm sure like they've like people have like watched my videos and just like never left a comment or anything like that.
He loves you. He told me loves your content.
Yep.
Because we're both British, so we talk all the time.
yeah. I'm sure.
You live down the road.
And that would be the perfect time to transition now into the Twitter questions. Nice, good transition there. To end the podcast here, Potato, we're not ending it right now. And since this is kind of an interview for you, you know about this. I asked on Twitter last Friday if anybody had any questions for you. There's a lot of unserious ones. Some asking, are you a potato? So we're not going to ask the unserious ones. I've picked out 3 here. I'm going to ask 2. Jake's going to ask 1. And just from Twitter, and the serious questions, and you don't have to go too into depth with them. Yeah, just kind of give an answer, or we can talk about it a little bit. But it's up to you. Good. So the first one is, so this is now a Q&A for you. This is from Stridelon. You know who Stride is. So they ask, in the beginning, what inspired you to do commentary?
Okay. So I've talked about this a little bit. I initially tried to, my first, I guess, commentary video that I did. Oh, well, okay, so I did one really, really early on. It's technically the oldest public video on my channel, I think. Talk about what's the best survival game server. That was literally something that I made just because I was like bored. This was like back before I met a lot of the.
What conclusion did you come to? Just for anyone who hasn't watched that video.
I think I did CubeCraft. That was my favorite at the time.
Yeah, so I used to love CubeCraft survival games.
Yeah. But then, once I started doing commentary again and, doing my sort of, investigative type stuff, I think I tried to model my video off of a YouTuber named SalC1. He does these, maybe 5-minute videos, mainly talking about 2B2T stuff, but, kind of going, into the surface level, a little bit more in depth, talking about, whatever, I wouldn't say news, but, sort of stuff that's happened. He just also does some sort of generic Minecraft stuff. I did a video about, can you break a diamond sword on Hive survival games? I know he did some, a little bit more specific stuff, like that type of stuff, and so it was basically just literally me trying to figure out if you could break a diamond sword in survival games, and I came to the conclusion that, yes, you can. But that's sort of who inspired me at the beginning.
And now you're the biggest commentary channel on Hive. I don't know if there's anyone bigger. I don't think there's anyone bigger than you.
I don't think so. Yeah, you're probably right.
What you enjoy doing, so it's great.
Yeah.
All right. So the second question is from Purple. What got you motivated to main doing Hive content, like your main thing?
I eventually just found that it was the most polished server out of all of the featured servers. CubeCraft was a close second, but I just found that Hive was a better experience, a better community as well. This is going to sound bad, but people actually talk on the Hive and interact with each other, whereas on CubeCraft they just log on, play games, and log off.
Because only Lobby 1 on CubeCraft. Lobby 1 Egg Wars is where I used to go, and that was the only time I saw people talk to me in chat, and I was a YouTube rank.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of why I chose the Hive, just because a more polished, better community, and it just overall was a more enjoyable experience than any other server at the time.
Didn't you used to make, kind of adding on to this question here, didn't you used to make CubeCraft content? Because I remember you used to use CubeCraft survival games background gameplay. I can't remember, because I know TurboPiggy, I know it's not you, TurboPiggy used to be a CubeCraft YouTuber and switched to Hive. Would you always say you've been Hive, not including your mobile years, because I know you used to do Lifeboat back in the day. When you came back to Minecraft, have you always been Hive?
For the most part, yeah. Again, my first few videos were CubeCraft, but then I found Hive and I just kind of fell in love with it more than CubeCraft, and so yeah, mainly Hive.
On the topic of sort of being motivated to do something, the final question comes from Chillager, and it's what made you get into Minecraft content creation? So you touched on this a little bit earlier, saying that you just came back and did it, but why did you, I guess, come back and do it?
I don't feel like there's much of a reason. Again, I was playing a bunch of games at the time that I started doing content. I guess there are some old unlisted videos of Rocket League, CS:GO, a little bit of Overwatch, some stuff on my channel, and I was kind of posting whatever back then. I just sort of did Minecraft because that's where I knew people that were also doing content, again, Pocket, King Jones, all those people that were doing starting back off at the time. That's why I just kind of got into Minecraft, because I knew people that were making content, that were motivated, and I just wanted to keep doing it, I guess.
So I guess you could say you came back because of you came back to this specifically because it was a community you already know.
Right, exactly.
And you
Do you think a part that was played in that was the PewDiePie kind of Minecraft phase, where he almost brought it back to life?
That's complicated, because I never really watched PewDiePie's Minecraft. I haven't really watched him all that much ever.
Yeah, I haven't.
But I mean, obviously PewDiePie was played a big role in sort of reviving Minecraft
I think it was
as
more
a game for content creation. For example, we wouldn't see Dream at least as big of a content creator as he is right now. I don't feel if PewDiePie hadn't sort of brought Minecraft back, if that makes sense.
So you didn't think it really made a difference?
In terms of me, I mean, I don't know, because I sort of just came back because, again, there was already sort of an established community of people that I knew here. Would those people be back if PewDiePie hadn't made Minecraft stuff? I really don't know. And yeah,
I think it was a big chain from PewDiePie. PewDiePie started back, then people Laserbeam started, and it just sort of went on and on.
Right.
One last question. I just want a yes or no answer. I don't even want context behind it. This is from me. If you got invited to the Dream SMP right now, would you join it?
That's tough.
Yes or no? I don't want an explanation. I just want a yes or no answer.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here. I'm gonna say no.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll get into that in the future, maybe. That's why you said no.
All right.
Sadly, this brings the end of the Inside Minecraft podcast. Thank you very much, PotatoPie, for joining us today.
No problem. It was a blast. It was a blast.
And Jake, you were here as well, so that was great. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast. We'll see you next week with PotatoPie, also on that podcast. And might as well tell them what we're doing. Do you want to do it, Jake? So I feel a little bit rude after kind of giving you a little bit of a blown outro.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking with Potato about the YouTube algorithm and methods and like techniques to blow up, basically.
Can't wait for it. Excited.
Make sure you all tune in for that next Friday. Thank you all for watching. This was the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything you need to know inside Minecraft. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, and peace.